for you. Look at my beautiful, beautiful. They look like triceratops things from the side, don't they? But they're unicorns.
What was someone said about rats?
So
Meg said there were rats in those shoes.
Someone. Meg, what'd you say about rats? My shoes had rats?
There are rats in the box that those shoes came in, apparently.
Why are you wearing them? There's probably like rat shit and.
What? Why are you so germophobic?
But
I'm
there's
sure
a
it's
rat
fine.
Germophobic?
Yeah. I'd wear fucking rat shoes. Why not?
You would
Yeah,
wear rat
germophobic. That's not being germophobic. That's basic level cleanliness.
That's
I
just-
don't want to stick my feet in rat shit.
You're wearing socks that you'll wash later.
Come on, it's like rat.
How filthy are you?
Pretty filthy.
Jesus. So gross.
I have a laundry machine. So
I
I'm
feel
good.
perfectly fine.
The thin layer of sock fabric will protect me from all the disease and grossness of rat shit.
It will.
I've never heard it referred to as a laundry machine.
Well,
What
you
do
know.
you call it?
A washing machine?
Washing machine?
I think I was referring to both, the washing and the drying all in one
Your laundry machines.
machines.
So
You
were the
can get
rats
too far.
dead when the box was opened? Unknown.
Well, I mean, you checked inside.
They chewed up a Minecraft sword?
You checked inside, though, right? There's no
I'm wearing little slippers on my feet.
But there's
I'm
no
not doing
poo-poo
anything.
inside, right?
Nothing weird. I'm not eating them.
That's gross, right, Gavin?
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You realize pretty much rats and bugs have touched everything that you come across, right?
Yeah, there's poo on everything, too.
Yeah.
So,
Poo, did you guys talk? I've been gone for a while, as we've already covered. Did you guys talk about that they did the study about poo in people's beards?
Yeah.
And that got tweeted at me like 20,000
Well, didn't another one come out that said it was a load of crap?
Yeah.
Literally.
You know
I'll tell you who loves Absinthe. Young lady by the name of Ashley Jenkins.
yeah.
Who is
Really?
Yeah, she took me to an absinthe salon one time where you had to like melt. Yeah, it's called a salon. We had to make a reservation and everything. They gave us this fucking apparatus.
Get your highlights done after.
We had to drain. We had to drain it. We got our toes done. We got a mani pedi. We had to drain the absinthe over this sugar cube and everything. And it was
Yeah.
like this whole
Yeah.
You
procedure.
light it on fire.
I don't know if we did lit it on fire, but it had to get like cloudy. Or
Oh,
I
whatever.
like
shit.
tiny procedure. I
No,
like,
that
little
seems
stuff
so
like-
anti-you.
I don't know, but
True.
it's funny
I
because
feel like you can't be bothered with that.
it's fun because it's small. You just
Well,
like
there's something.
Wait,
that's,
wait,
like,
wait.
Right
Is that what Meg says about you?
up, Meg.
It's fun because it's
Meg
small.
perked up. She's like thumbs up. No. She wasn't listening.
I'm sorry I had to get that in there.
Oh, are you? So there's a video that's out right now that's right up your alley then, because these guys, these guys, they're doctors and they're scientists. I'm not sure what they are. Some guys.
Some guys.
They built robots that could do surgery, and they sewed a grape back together.
grape.
A grape.
Like they took the skin off the grape and then it
They,
You
like
love
to
grapes.
they
stitch it
peeled a
back on.
grape and then put it back on.
I actually didn't watch the video, but I saw it linked everywhere.
It was
If there's a robot that can put toothpaste back in the tube, then I'll be impressed.
I'm sure that's a robot that puts the toothpaste in to begin with.
Yeah, but they like sew it up at the end, don't they? It's just like,
I hope
And
it's a
then-
robot that does that. What if it's not?
Oh,
What if it's
there's-
a dude?
oh,
Yeah.
oh, look at this!
Well, this is them taking off the skin first.
The tiny scissors.
Gavin is so amused.
Gavin is so happy.
Oh,
they stitch it
wow.
back
We're
on.
watching a video of these
I could
two
watch
robot
this
arms
all day.
slicing a section of grape skin off. Gus, how long would it be before you would have surgery from a robot, like totally autonomous?
I would hope that we were driving in driverless cars and robotic cars for a long time before we get to
You know,
that point.
it's actually just, it looks gross. Oh, it's like I'm looking at something that's not a grape.
It's like you're looking at a surgery, right?
Just think of it as a grape.
It's so cool.
Do you ever do that when you eat grapes? Do you ever like bite it in a certain way to just like try to eat the skin?
No.
You've never done
almost-
that? I've done that before.
It almost looks like a joke too. They got the light set up and the blue, like,
Yeah.
what do they call that? The blue, not tarp. What is it? Kind of like
Surgical
the
tarp.
dressing. They have that down.
The surgery napkin.
Yes, surgery
I
napkin
would definitely
with window.
let that robot operate on me.
Yeah,
Grape.
I feel more comfortable with a robot doing it than a human.
Right now, still.
Maybe in like 5 years.
Yeah. Look how quickly the story changes.
But also, how much damage could it really do with those
It could
tiny
kill you.
scissors? What, with tiny
A
little
human
scissors?
could also kill you.
Yes, but humans have been doing it a lot longer. I trust humans a lot
I'd have
more.
to go straight for your jugular.
But it would work.
I booked the hotel before we showed up at this place. And we get to the front desk, nice hotel, and they go, okay, and your room's all ready, and, here's your tickets to the aquarium. And I was like, what are these for? They said, you booked the package with the aquarium. I said, I absolutely did not. Why would I do that? And they said, well, you have 2 tickets to the aquarium. And I was like, that's okay, I don't want them. They were like, take the tickets. I was like, okay, I will take the tickets to the aquarium. So Ashley and I, the next day, sure enough, we go to the fucking aquarium, and we had a blast. It was absolutely a lot of fun. But Gus, I wish you'd have been there, because we went to the dolphin tank, and they had all the plaques of all the dolphins that are in the tank. And there were 7 lady dolphins, and there's 1 dude dolphin. I was like, hey, he's getting all the ladies. Then we look up in the tank. Nope, I guess he's tired of ladies. Here's the 1 male dolphin in the entire tank. He's swimming around on his back trying to fuck a buoy. He's
Like with his little flippers he's got him, or is he just like on his stomach?
No, he's like he's doing this number where he's got 1 flipper going, and he's trying to wrangle it. And it was like, the best way to describe it, it's those things like they throw over the side of a boat so you don't bang into other boats.
Okay.
It's like, it kind of looked like a big version of a thing you throw for a dog to train to catch like birds and stuff. It was like this tube, but then it had a place where a rope was supposed to be tied to go on the side of the boat. And that's what he was trying to get to, was the hole where the rope goes. He was trying to get his rope in there. And one thing I learned immediately, dolphin penis is very agile. Like, it was searching for the hole.
Oh, God.
Like that.
So it really was like a rope.
Ashley was a little too fascinated by this. Do you think ropes move on their own? I mean, this thing was like pecking around and looking. And it's like the entire line along the glass, all school kids just watching this whole thing.
They didn't know what was happening.
Was it just filling up with cum?
What's that? No, we didn't stick around for the grand finale.
Oh, God.
That would have been just horrible.
Man, I
It
mean,
probably
you
has
don't
a
even know
hole
if
all the way
finished.
straight through for a rope to go through. So I don't imagine it would. Yeah. Just hits him in the face.
Like
Oh,
a
no,
blowhole.
Gus, that was the worst part. It was like a piece of plastic that was maybe like an inch thick with a hole through it. So you got to see the whole thing going through. Like, you got to see the one side and the other.
It's like a cutaway diagram.
It was fucking
That sounds
horrible.
terrible.
It was
and
awful.
disgusting at the same time.
Have you?
We couldn't watch it for more like 15 minutes.
Did you film it?
And we had to leave. No, I never thought. Ashley, did you film the dolphin banging that life preserver?
She was too busy laughing. Did you ever see that? And taking notes.
I had a quarter
Did you
for
ever
every
see
time I heard
that? It's an older video now, a couple years old. Horny Odie, the Wonder Dog. It's a YouTube video where this one dog's trying to hump another, and the one that's trying to do the humping, like the dog that's on the bottom gets away.
Yeah.
The dog that's on the top, like, doesn't have anything to do with its front paws, so like it stands kind of awkwardly, and it realizes it can reach its own dick.
Wow.
And starts kind of like jacking itself off while it's still on its back 2 legs.
Never seen that.
It's
Oh my God.
I don't
It's-
know. This is it.
So are these 2 guy dogs?
I don't know. I don't know the relationship between these 2 dogs. How did y'all find it so fast?
Yeah,
They're-
that was
they're pros.
extremely fast.
And then he realizes he doesn't eat the other dog.
I just like that dog staring.
What is that?
I like that the other dog comes back like, what's going on, man? What is this?
I love that was my job just then. I got paid to watch that. I got paid to watch a dog jack off.
I like that video exists, and there's still people in the world that don't believe in evolution. Like, you're watching it right there. He's learning something, and he's not going back. He's like, what? This is way easier.
There are people on the ground in the studio.
We'll put that in the link dump if you're
That must feel really bad, though.
Well, what you
with
do that?
dog hands.
I guess with dog hands, yeah. If you have paws.
Those
and everything.
claws you can't
Yeah.
retract and those rough pads.
They just use like the inside of
It
them.
must have been red raw.
Red Rocket.
But I had a crazy thing. I thought of you as soon as I had this conversation, Gus. I was in my car, and I got a phone call, and it was from like Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm like, I don't know anybody in fucking Las Vegas. So I'll fucking answer it. So I answer my phone. There's a pause, like a 2 or 3 second pause after I said hello. And then a woman comes on and she goes, hello. She goes, is this Burnie Burns? And I said, yes, it is. And I immediately knew I was talking to a telemarketer because I know that pause means
They're connected.
The call's being
Yeah.
connected. Yeah.
yeah. So what they do is it's a robot dials you, and then when somebody answers, then they connect you to an operator, and then they push you like
They answer.
Is that so
Yeah.
that they don't have to wait for you to pick up?
That's exactly right. They push it through like something that's called like a whisper. They come through like that, and that's how the operators get that stuff. But nobody's sitting there
The sweet
dialing.
spot is hanging up during that pause.
Yeah, you should just hang up when you hear that pause. But she says, "Hello, is this Burnie Burns?" I go, "Yes, it is." She goes, "Oh, hello. I'm calling today." This is exactly how she sounded. "I'm calling today to talk to you about your vehicle, which may be eligible for a new extended warranty." And I was like, "Oh God!" I said, "Is this a computer?" And she goes, "Oh, do I sound that bad today?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "I'm so sorry." I said, "That must have been so insulting." I did the explanation I just did, where I was like, "I used to run call centers, so I'm used to voice response systems." And I go, "And your initial hello, and then when you said it, anyway, I apologize.
Yeah, and
what do
that
you?"
influx is also very robotic.
Yeah, it was. So exactly the way she was talking, it was like little pauses and stuff that didn't sound exactly right. And just she laughed and she goes, "Okay, well the reason I'm calling is about the extended warranty on a vehicle. You might be qualified for an extended warranty. I said, I know what you're calling about. I get calls about this thing all the time. It's my truck. I said, I'm in the process of selling my truck, so I don't want an extended warranty on it. She goes, I'm sorry, you don't qualify. And I go, are you a computer? And she goes, what makes you say that? I go, you're not saying no. She goes, I guess I'm not. And I was like, can you just answer the question, are you a human or are you a computer? And she goes, I'm sorry you don't qualify. Thank you. And hangs up. And I was like,
my God, you don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know if I talked to a computer or not.
She definitely, that's a computer.
It had to be a computer.
Because you know that, what's it called? That
And her
website?
first response was, do I sound that bad today? She didn't say no.
Right.
So it had that built in. And
So it's just a smart robot.
Well, you know that website, I forget what it was called, where you could actually talk to it and it was like a human responding, but it was actually just a robot?
Cleverbot.
Cleverbot.
Yeah, Cleverbot.
That's basically the human equivalent of it.
But it was a voice one.
Yeah.
I mean, it like totally... I have never had something where I didn't know I was talking to a machine.
They call that...
and she made me double-check myself.
That's referred to as a Turing
still
test,
don't know.
where if you're...
Yeah, Turing test.
Yeah, if you're having a communication with someone, like let's say Cleverbot, and if you can't tell if it's a person or if it's a machine, like then it passes the Turing test, which is like a test to determine artificial
that-
intelligence.
I thought that as soon as I was done. You know what else I thought about it? I thought this is like Blade Runner. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're walking through a desert and there's a turtle. Do you turn it over? Because that's the whole thing in Blade Runner. They're trying to figure
That's
out
the
who's
exact
machine.
scenario. How do you fucking remember
I
that?
fucking love Blade Runner. Who doesn't like
I
Blade
love
Runner?
Blade Runner too, but I wouldn't like when you
fucking
say it. I
love Blade
remember
Runner.
that.
Yeah.
But there's no way if you'd asked me what it was, I would have remembered that.
And the
was it.
guy's a great actor too.
Wait,
That's so aggravating.
why did she even call you if you didn't qualify?
Because no, when I said the explanation, I'm selling my truck,
Oh.
so I'm not even going to have that vehicle anymore. She goes, I'm sorry, you don't qualify. And I was like, and that sent me back. Wait a minute, I was like, are you a computer? She goes, what makes you say that? And I said, you're not saying no. It was like she was literally avoiding the question.
It's either a computer or a woman who just loves trolling
It
people.
could possibly be that, Barb. It's totally possible.
Which is like, if I was a telemarketer, I would totally do that.
I don't know, but we're at a
would
point
just
now
talk
with
like a
technology where it
computer.
could have been. I felt like it was a computer.
I would have
afterwards.
stayed on the line hoping that she would eventually repeat herself.
No, she hung up
We
on
had
me.
hung up. Yeah.
She disconnected.
It.
No.
You got hung up on by a robot.
I know.
Or did
You
he?
should tell the other story
I
we
apologize.
have. You apologize
I
to a robot.
apologize to a robot for being rude.
Tell her.
Like, I'm sorry, you fucking metal hunk of junk.
Someone on Twitter,
Getting
Eric
really
G.
wonderful.
Perez, says, "If horny Odie the Wonder Dog has taught me anything, it's that if you can jerk off with arms, otherwise they're legs."
Exactly. It all comes full circle.
So there you go. We even gave our own example earlier in the podcast.
So
I
how does
reckon
a
you
spider
could-
jerk off?
You could do it with your legs.
No way. So you get your
I mean, you could
legs
just, like,
up in there.
Sort of.
No.
Girls can?
You have to have some kind of What?
Yeah. On your foot or something.
You can fudge yourself with your foot.
Yeah. You just
What?
have to like sit on it right and then move.
You've done that.
I'm
do it
not
by-
saying I have. I'm saying you can.
You're not saying you haven't.
Did you do that by accident? You just sat down one day and you were just like,
It's like the robot thing all over again.
I'm sorry. You are not
sorry.
approved.
you do not
Goodbye.
qualify for this answer.
You do not qualify. But yeah, no. I mean, you can do that on anything.
On anything.
Get him the right angle.
This is a very enlightening podcast.
Yeah.
Fair
I'm
play.
not saying all women can do this, but some who enjoy that type of stimulation.
Seems like you wouldn't want a foot in there, though.
Well, maybe if it's not the slippers.
As long as you have a sock, it's okay, right? You can touch rat shit with your sock. The sock is the barrier. It prevents infection.
I learned something
That'd
about...
be the weirdest girl talk ever the next day.
What?
It's like, I was with this new guy last night. He had a foot. I'm like, wow, a foot. Like, no, literally a foot.
He just laid it on the bed and I sat on top of it. It was great.
It's so disgusting.
So, Barb, when you're talking with girlfriends, at what point does the guy's penis size like enter the conversation? First two sentences, like
No, not very much.
Sentence 3.
sentence 3.
At least 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You want to get the conversation going before you blurt it out.
They're just so interesting, though, aren't they?
Penises?
They
Yeah.
are. I mean,
Like,
like
you
we're all
can't-
fascinated by the dolphin
You
penis.
can't say anything about a vagina. Like, no one's ever going to be like, what's a vagina like? Be like, you know,
It seems rude.
it's a vagina.
It seems rude.
It feels great.
Put stuff in it.
Yeah.
Take stuff out of it.
You'd never be like, oh, you know, it's a solid 4 inches deep.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it? What if that was a thing? Like, if women got like dudes are obsessed with size and rulers. Like, what if like that was like women like, oh, I got the dipstick, 5.5.
I can honestly tell you that like conversations with guys never had that conversation of like, it's like, so I ended up going home with this girl last night. It's like, how was her vag? It was great. She had a great vag.
So what do you refer to? Boobs? Or just the sex in general?
Just sex in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the moves.
So you never comment on her body?
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say yes, but it's not like it's not the vagina.
No, I know it's not the vagina.
More so if she's like on the like tips the scale on the high end. Like you'd say, I went home with this girl last night. She was fucking crazy hot.
Yeah.
Like that.
So if she was kind of medium, you'd be like,
yeah. Or you wouldn't be
Sex is
like,
great.
I went home with this girl last night. You know, I mean, I think I've
I
never
went home
heard
with this girl
guys
last
do
night.
that.
She was totally average. She was a solid 5.
I will say that Dan always does point out when the girl does anal. Always breaks it.
Oh, we
Jesus.
always know it. And I don't always want to know that.
How does Dan?
Well, know it sometimes, but I don't want to know it all
I
the
don't
time.
ever want to know that about people.
Especially when you're at like a free hotel breakfast with those people.
This may sound really derogatory, and maybe we should cut it.
Let's not, maybe.
But if Dan's with a girl, she does anal.
We'd like to welcome Dan's girlfriend's parents to the podcast. Thank you for
Is
joining
this the
us.
point where you drop the mic? You just walk off.
But you've
How do
experienced.
you know? I guess you said
Is
you
that
talked
because
about
that's
it.
all he's into?
I don't know. I feel like whenever he must just manage to get a girl to do it, no matter who she is.
It's like he wants to be real careful. He doesn't have a kid.
Yeah. Maybe that's
By the
his
way,
excuse.
we're in a very nice Asian restaurant in Manhattan. I brought these guys out to do that. Next to all these like nice people having dinner. This is their full conversation. It was like 20
About
minutes of
Dan
anal
having
material,
anal.
just like nonstop.
Well, I mean, the waitress had a bogey.
What?
A bogey?
A what?
Nose was running.
Oh, that was the bartender.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got sick afterwards. Now
What
I know
is-
why.
What does that have to do with Dan talking about anal?
Well, I was like, it's not a very fancy place if the bartender's got a runny nose.
Oh.
So, yeah, we were getting a drink, and I go to Gavin. I go, bartender's got a runny nose. He goes, what? No. Then she serves him a drink, and Gavin's like this. Because he was like, she does have a runny nose. He completely lost it after that.
Yeah, and you were knocked out. You were not feeling well for a while.
You had it too, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people at the office. Jeff had something. I had something.
Jack had something.
Aaron had something. We all got
get it.
the
I
same
might have caught it from
illness.
Teddy. Teddy got sick. So
I might have brought something back from Australia.
You don't typically, did you?
I don't know.
Yeah. The
You did have a koala.
I did.
oh,
So you all have syphilis. You're welcome.
chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
That's what they pass.
Right.
Get the disease right.
Yeah. So
Tomato,
you don't want
tomato.
syphilis. Chlamydia, I think they can still cure. I don't think they can cure syphilis
I
anymore.
think they could cure both.
No, I think
I think
one
syphilis is
of,
going away.
yeah, one of them has reached the end of antibiotic effectiveness.
Meg showed me something interesting today. An interesting article.
What?
I'm really
Good
curious to
segue.
hear this, Meg.
This is the weirdest segue ever.
All right, what tastes better? A sandwich that you made
Jesus.
or a sandwich that someone else made?
Someone
Oh,
else.
someone else.
Someone
Yeah.
else. all the
It's a
No,
great
a,
thing ever.
a sandwich that you made.
Really?
So you think your
My
sandwich?
sandwiches are the best.
Yeah. All right.
I'll
Well,
say
of course,
someone
because
else.
other sandwiches made by other people involve other people. Right. There we go. That's exactly it.
It involves other people touching my food.
What
I
if
can't
Esther
even
made it
imagine
for
how
you?
hard that is for
Apparently, there's science behind why a sandwich made by someone else tastes better.
That science is bullshit. I can
And
tell
it's
you that
because,
right
like,
now.
as you're making the sandwich, like, you're becoming desensitized to all the ingredients, and you're like making the sandwich. And by the time you actually get to the point where you're eating the sandwich, you're kind of bored about the sandwich, and you're not that into it. But if someone just gives you a sandwich out of nowhere, you're like, sandwich.
What if
I'm
you
all
make?
about
What if
this."
you're making a decoy sandwich at the same time?
I love the idea that even if they go to you, what if they go to you? What if they go to you and they say, "Can I make you a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich?" You go, "Sure," and then you're like, "Oh, you get it, and it's great." But even like that 30 seconds or minute that it takes them to make the sandwich, you desensitize a little
But
bit.
you're not
Would the
desensitizing-
best thing be if they just walked up behind you with a fucking sandwich and just like they wait till you're yawning and just wow, sandwich? And that would be the best sandwich you ever had in your life.
What if you're
Yeah.
watching them make it and you get desensitized to like seeing everything?
We should start a restaurant.
What if
we
that's
called
the-
When Suddenly Sandwich, and you just walk in, it's just like wham. Well, I guess you'd be going there for a sandwich.
Same
Or what if
Sandwich,
it's like
more
the
like
new way they
sandwich.
do like a Subway, like where you can't see the ingredients anymore. They just ask you,
Yeah.
and they're like working behind like a counter that's totally sealed.
They ask you philosophically, how do you feel about it?
They ask you like it's like Blade Runner. They ask you some questions,
You
and they
terrorist.
determine the kind of sandwich that you want, and then it just shows up at the end.
Say
But I
yes
get
to
it
the
though. Like
sandwich.
I feel like I make a good sandwich, but I'm not into it when I'm eating it.
Yeah, but
Like
somebody
I'll
else-
eat it, but it's just like
Why don't we do a test? We'll both make each other the exact same sandwich with the same ingredients.
well, I think that would
That would
I think that would
that would
ruin it, though,
nullify
because
the-
I know
yeah.
that the ingredients I was getting.
But
were-
I'm making it for you.
Right, but he's desensitized to those ingredients.
You guys make me hungry as hell.
We are talking
man,
about
speaking-
sandwiches around
speaking
Burnie.
What is
hungry.
the best sandwich? Real quick. What is the best sandwich?
Best sandwich is basic ham and cheese.
Really, just ham and white bread?
Yeah, white bread.
Okay. What about you?
Butter.
Excuse me?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Maybe a meatball sub is a good sandwich.
Meatball
No,
sub's
awful,
pretty good.
terrible,
What are you talking
terrible,
What?
messy,
So it tastes good.
awful. No,
Really?
No, you're
meatballs
right.
should
It's-
not be in a sandwich.
I just heard from the control room. So good.
What about what about all of the sauce from a meatball sub and the meat, but in thinly sliced meatball slices?
Yes.
Why don't they make that? That's
I'll accept
genius.
that. That's
I
much
would eat
better.
that right now.
Well, yeah.
A meatball slice sandwich?
That tastes delicious.
What?
Or sounds delicious.
Oh my God! When I was watching Dan and Gav do their thing, they had these people. I gotta talk about that. What's your best favorite sandwich? I'll talk about the serving trays.
Philly cheesesteak.
Philly
Oh,
cheesesteak.
that's a good one.
Bit
That's a
cloggy
good
though.
one.
Bit sort of like.
That's the key
You?
to a sandwich.
I think mine's like an Italian sub, like
Ooh, Italian's good
capicola, like with a
Like-
little bit of like
like with
oil
cold
and
one?
vinegar on it. It's just like
Not too much.
wham.
Lots of
Nah.
times
Let's
they
go to
put too
Witchwich
much.
after this.
So good.
I'm not into the.
Thundercloud's better. Thundercloud's a
yeah.
local place. You ever been?
Yeah, I love that.
For it. I mean, in the history of cinematography, there's never been a camera that had two lenses on it, pointing in two different directions. That had to be invented so that people could take photos of themselves, basically. I mean, they probably got it through because of teleconferencing, which nobody uses it for. Everybody just takes fucking photos of themselves.
No, they
like,
use
look,
it.
I'm eating dinner. It's like, then there's a picture. You don't even see the fucking dinner anymore. You just see their fucking dumb face every fucking time.
I think a lot of it has to do with, like, if you're following someone who you admire, like, let's say a celebrity of some sort, you don't care if they're posting a picture of something because that could be anybody's picture. But when you see them in the picture,
But it's not just
Every
celebrities
time?
who do it.
Well,
I
I,
know.
think it's also the
not
expression.
every time,
like
but
emojis are huge because it's just like a face. Selfie is just a very detailed emoji. It's like this is what I'm feeling right
Bernie's
now.
leaving.
Bernie got that angry.
I'm going to appeal to younger audience.
What's he doing?
You're in
Y'all
the-
have this planned?
This is the great.
What is-
Check out our podcast set, everybody. It's the best podcast set.
It's fine.
Did you
'cause
guys
can
see
still
what Gus is
me.
wearing today? Did you see what he's wearing? It's the best thing ever. Hey, everybody. Look, we're having such a great time on the podcast. Thanks for coming to the podcast.
When did he set this up?
Right before the podcast, he's asking for a walking mic.
I mean, is this entertaining, right? Hey, everybody. How are you doing?
Put the light closer to his face.
It looks like you're on a really bad green screen.
I'm looking like it's a hostage video in a weird way. I mean, this is like everything. It's like, check it out. I'm at the Rooster podcast set. And it's like, this would be the photo. This is exactly what you'd see. Somebody's dumb fucking face blocking what you
It's because it's
tuned in
proof
for.
that you were there.
I bet in 4 years we're going to be doing all of our podcasts just like this.
We should just set up face cams with each mic. We could have a camera right here
Bernie, I gotta say, your skin's looking on point today,
on
especially
fleek.
up close.
That would be an appropriate use of that then.
Man, that conversation, looking back on it when we were confused about the word selfie, we just look like idiots.
I know.
That's what this podcast is going to be in the future. It's just like, what a bunch of...
A time capsule of dumb.
I thought it was called a selfie. I didn't remember thinking this. I thought it was called a selfie because it was taken on a cell phone. I thought it was like
Right.
Oh.
Selfie.
Yeah. And you guys
That's
said it wasn't a
how
thing.
I didn't. That's how much
I
I,
just
didn't
kept
know.
calling it a cam whore.
Yeah. so look, so that was not that long ago. That was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
It had to be 3 years ago. Yeah, because the person, by the way, that told me the term selfie was Ashley in
Yeah.
Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if
And-
that was the case, then,
And then you doinked.
what's that?
What?
Not listen.
She sat on his foot.
I played the part of the rubber buoy that evening.
Rubber buoy, rubber buoy. So we got our first selfie response here. Zanny Wright on
Is
Twitter
watching the podcast?
sent his I'm watching the podcast photo in.
That's a great selfie. 10 points.
So fast. That is so
Oh, God.
fucking fast.
look at it's the Rooster Teeth podcast. That's the Rooster Teeth podcast right there. I like that he blocked the rest of the set on his
He
face.
just sees your dumb face.
Fucking dumb face and everything. Everybody's gotta put their big dumb face and everything.
So who do you think takes the most selfies?
Oh, I don't know. Everybody does it.
Of the people you know.
Everybody does it, but we can't like accept that it's a normal thing now. I mean, it's like literally everybody. It's like
It is, though.
here is the space shuttle, my dumb face, and it's like then there's a white tail fin coming out of the back of my head. I mean, that's it. It's like they're not going to be able to build any like data for what took place for the last 5 years because it's just people blocked by people's faces.
No, but we have enough cameras where you can piece together the missing data and cover people's faces. Like we have enough angles and like sides of pictures.
Will
We
there
put it all
eventually
together.
be some sort of hat you can wear that does like a 360-degree selfie and you can like rotate around the person's head? I bet there will.
I bet there will be.
I tried to do that with a panoramic photo of your face one time,
Yeah.
where I just took
Like
a picture
stretch
like
it
this
out.
way.
And then you can put it in a jar with water and it looks like there's a head in the jar.
Yeah. I want to do that one day.
Oh, I've seen those.
We should have that RTX.
This might be my favorite screen cap of all time, by the way.
Your face.
That's why I don't take selfies.
It's just
right
burn
there.
his face.
I took
super
a lot
shadow.
of dumb selfies with YouTubers the other week. Got one with Markiplier and
Yeah.
Tomska.
You and I take a selfie every week.
Taking a photo with somebody else though, and saying, "Hey, look, I just met Markiplier." If I
Yeah.
just saw you, like a photo of Markiplier standing there, that would be a little weird. I would expect to see you and Markiplier in a photo together. Somebody's at the beach, like going, "Hey, check it out! I look great today in a bikini or whatever." Click, and they take a photo of themselves at the beach. That seems totally normal to me, you know.
Saying,
but like,
hey, I met Tomska, and you're in front of him, blocking him with your face.
exactly.
What if you're seeing a space shuttle and you're taking a selfie, but it's like next to you, so you're not actually blocking it?
It's just like
It's a slippery slope, Barbara.
it is a slippery slope. It's like, what is the inclination is always like the face goes in the photo first, no matter what it is.
Well, that's what I started
first,
doing.
and then the other thing is always secondary.
I'm in the middle of that series. I'm doing a series where I go to a landmark and I take a picture with it, but I'm like way too close to it to be able to see what it is.
What's
are you talking
series?
about?
That's called everybody's vacation photos ever. I mean, what did you think you came up with taking photos? With
Groundbreaking.
No,
No,
but I'm
no,
like-
it's a series now.
No, but I'm like,
No,
I'm always
no,
like
no.
really close to it.
Hey, Gavin, you should do a thing like where when you travel, you take clothes with you. Everybody, instead of buying them like the rest of us do when we show up places. You ever think about that? You could get like some kind of compartment thing. That you
So
carry
what
with
I'm
you.
doing has been done already. You're saying?
It's been done
By
since
everyone.
No, but
It's
I'm
been
really
done
close
since the
to it.
camera was invented.
No.
That might have been the first
What's
picture
an
ever
example?
fucking taken.
What's an example?
Like I was
What's
like I was by London Bridge, but I'm like right up against it. So you
Oh,
can't
I've never
tell
seen
what
a picture of London Bridge. Thank God you took one.
Someone visiting London Bridge and taking a picture with it?
so you're like up against
Scandalous.
it, so you can't actually tell what
yeah,
it is.
like by Big Ben, but I'm like up against the door, so you can't tell it's Big Ben. Like it's pointless.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
God damn! Why did it take so long for you to understand what
It
I'm
took
doing?
you so
it
long
just-
to explain it.
Why you wouldn't let me?
I missed the last part. That's actually really funny. When
he
you say
said
here I
way
am,
too close to them.
here I am at Big Ben. He's way too close. So you can tell
Yeah.
that's Big Ben.
Did it at Buckingham Palace? Did the London Eye? I'm just like by the support beam of the London Eye.
Gavin, I apologize.
I'm glad,
I jumped on you too quickly.
glad we settled.
Happens sometimes. That's a very funny
I want to
series.
get the
I don't
Eiffel Tower.
apologize.
I want to get the pyramids. I think it'd be great. Like one brick
One
of the
brick of
pyramid
the pyramid?
would be great.
Just go take a picture. It's insane.
Because it's funny because people will be like, "You didn't go there, otherwise you would have taken a picture of the pyramids." It's like, no, I did. That's the pyramids.
That's
I
it.
was really there.
As good as
Do
gets.
you take a normal photo as well, just to be?
Nah, what's
Nah,
the
fuck
point? I was really there. I know
Just
it was
for
the
yourself.
pyramids.